welcome to the World of Ravinia podcast, where we follow the tale of a group of college adventurers learning their trade in the classroom and real world at once. I am Dungeon Master Menvel. Our journey continues as the party deals with the fallout from the events of the solstice. So now let us return to the world of Ravinia. All right, welcome back, everybody. And so when we left off, you had just finished your encounter with Lord Kreigel and his bugbear contingent, and watched Lord Collingsworth go into a mad rage, flying through the roof of the staff building and begin smashing goblins with his bare hands, raining their body parts down on the campus. About 10 minutes have gone by, and more of the staff and students have begun to show up in the main courtyard, many getting drug over to the prayer hall for healing. Give me a perception check, all of you. Oh, good. Somebody actually has eyes. Hoi. Oh, and just waiting for Saul to get into her sheet.
You can roll for me this time. The screen is taking a while to load.
Okay. All right. So Vincent sees pretty much nothing, just a fog of bodies. And Drakei, Gargan, and Quark, you note that in addition to the injuries, many of the students look fairly distraught, as do some of the staff. Zin and Saul, on the other hand, you can note a few very particular things. Based on your belief of this encounter and what you just went through with the bugbears, the multitude of injuries, especially to staff, does not seem to match up with the firepower you felt you saw in that small encampment. Also, the number of goblins you've seen dropping from the sky is more than you had counted in total in the entire camp. And you do eventually see the security staff, with a few individuals shackled, being taken to the Wizard's Tower or the staff building.
The security staff?
Yes.
Interesting. Partial inside job?
No, they have cuffed people who you're dragging in.
Oh,
Among
gotcha.
them, you do see Randall Byers. You do see Barik. And you see a number of individuals that you swear you did not see before. And as you look over the crowd, you do note one thing. One thing you do not see is Soren.
Hmm. We collected everything from our own fight, right?
Like that was on the corpses?
Yeah. Pretty sure we did.
Like, let me bring up. Yes. Little more time passes. You will note that Wilda appears to be directing some people to drag the bugbears. The orc who you remember being identified as, always referred to as the lieutenant, and two others back to the Wizard's Tower.
They're corpses, I'm guessing.
Yes.
All right. I'm gonna go up to Wilda and ask if there's anything that I can do for her.
You know, that's probably a good idea. Even if we're seeing the closing of, well, like we're seeing things that are being cleared up now, that doesn't mean everything's done. There's probably something that needs doing.
Yeah. You see Wilda just sort of slides her hair back out of her face, and you can see she's still looking around trying to, I think, take account of whoever she's looking for. Yes, there are a few staff members. If you come across them, direct them to come to the Wizard's Tower immediately. Master Tobias, my dear Umbert, and you can see she pauses for a hard minute trying to decide whether or not to say this next name. Uh, yes, I guess so. Um, the special counselor. I'm trying to remember if you guys have actually met her.
I'm sorry, I don't think I know who you mean.
Uh, Wendy Lightcaller.
Ah, yes, we have
And
met her.
and finally, I doubt any of you have actually seen him. Kaito. If you do see him, very easy to identify. He doesn't really teach the freshman classes. He has a long black ponytail and keeps himself well shaved.
Very
Uh,
well. We'll keep an eye out, but may I say, I look around. Is there anybody within, like, just whisper earshot?
just a whisper earshot.
Yeah.
Um, depends on how loud you whisper, because it's people getting dragged all over and going all over the field here.
I'm gonna whisper so that only she can hear it.
No, if you go right up to her, you can probably whisper without anyone hearing.
Okay. I kind of lean in. Um, Master Defiance hasn't been seen on campus in days. Uh, is
She just leans over. I'm aware. If you see him, actually, if you see him, let either Miss Fawnhopper, Sir Diamond Heart, or Captain Jennings know, actually.
understood. Is there anyone else you would like us to look out for?
Hmm. I believe you are familiar with Lisbeth Paulson.
I don't think I've personally met her, but I think others of our party have.
She was at the party you went to.
Okay, then yes.
Uh, remember the druid that was out at the? I think she was the first person you met out at the druid circle.
Okay,
If you see her, advise her to come find me immediately, or to meet me in my lab in the tower.
very well.
Beyond that, if you could just keep your eyes open for. And you can see she's just taking a look. If you can find either of Bim or Frederick Shadowright, it would be wonderful news.
Well, Mr. Shadowright doesn't particularly like me, but I'll keep an eye out for him.
The last I saw, he was dragging two severed heads behind him tied to a rope.
Yeah, sounds like him.
And Bim was not far behind, trying to insert random parts that he had taken off the same bodies into the eyes of the heads.
Quite the hobby.
Yes, the two of them took a very active part in the events tonight. And she just, for all that she's trying to say and not say, she finally just, there's one thing that she does let slip, and that is holds a holy symbol in front of herself and kisses it to her lips. May the keeper find them. And then heads off towards the tower.
Who all came with me?
Did anybody? Because you just said you were going off to talk to her.
I said I was going, yeah.
It probably would make sense. I would have gone to see Wilda too.
Okay.
And if I'm asking, based on what we've seen so far, looking at her reactions, hearing what the more perceptive of us saw, is it enough to roll an insight check to try to figure out what some of that means?
Considering you've seen enough of her, I'd say you could roll an insight check.
Yeah, of course, it's wisdom based.
Yeah, she seems definitely to be fazed by the events of tonight.
I would imagine that 12 wasn't good enough to get anything from this odd sort of disparity as far as numbers and
Yeah,
damage they did and all
there's
that.
chaos everywhere, so and certainly especially with seeing senior staff severely wounded and being taken to the prayer hall, you in your minds would have placed the bugbears as the biggest individual threats. So something doesn't quite add up there.
Right, so two pieces of the puzzle is that more damage seems to have been done than would have been expected looking at who was doing it, and they're more numerous than based on what we saw for the entire several days coming up to this.
Yeah, the numbers, the numbers, and certainly there's some people you've seen taken that were captured that you do not recognize from all of your interactions tracking down and following the caravan here.
Okay, I want to go over that list of names again, just so I can get it down.
Okay.
You said we're to keep an eye out for Miss Von Hopper, Kaido, Tobias, Wendy. There was two others that I remember.
And Wendy Lightcollar.
Yeah, Wendy, Lightcollar, and it was just those four?
I thought you had to keep an eye out for Bim and Frederick.
Yes, and Bim and Frederick. So of the staff, there was Wendy Lightcollar, Kaito, Miss Von Hopper, Tobias, and Umbert.
Umbert, that was the one I was missing.
And of the students, it was most notably Lizbeth, Bim, and Frederick that she named by name.
Thank you. What does Kaido teach? You said it was second and third year.
She didn't really state.
Just the look. Okay.
Yeah,
That's
let
fine.
me see if any of you might have by chance encountered him. I'd say Vincent would have about a 25% chance, so I'm going to say low. No, he's never encountered him either.
All right, I'm gonna put my night vision peepers to work then.
All right, and
So personally, I'm gonna do kind of a quasi spiral search out from where Wilda was. Just going from group to group looking for these people.
all right. Anybody going with you, or
Oh, that's up to them.
I'll go.
okay?
Yeah, by the way, I'm here.
All right, so you make your way around. Are you asking other people, or are you just keeping an eye out?
Observing, mostly.
Okay.
I'll listen to conversations that people are having, but I won't I won't disturb anybody.
All right.
I'd probably, if I'm with him, I'd probably actually ask people.
Okay. So Quark, I'm gonna actually use your passive perception amidst the chaos that's going on around you.
That's fine.
Okay. And was that Gargan or Andrakii?
Drake, yeah.
Andrakii. Give me.
Oh, did we level up?
No, we haven't gotten that far yet.
No.
Okay, I just want to know if I missed that or not.
We're gonna need a long sleep for that one.
Okay.
This is just we finished picking up everything. We went over to Wilda, asked if we could help anything. She gave us a list of people to look out for.
All right. I'm gonna have you make either your choice, an investigation check or a persuasion check with advantage.
You said
Very different checks, very different target numbers.
Yeah. Like, persuasion with advantage. I'm better at investigation, but that advantage got me tempted. I'm going to try the persuasion with advantage.
Okay.
So,
Okay. So, in conversing here and there, trying to glean some details, trying to get a little bit more out of the people as you're passing around them, you picked up some snippets here and there. Some people literally are almost in a state of shell shock. But from what you can gather, a second force came from out in the woods that included ogres and giants. And in addition to the assault on the campus, one thing they appeared to be doing was targeting certain people and taking them away with them.
They happen to know what race the people were that were targeted and taken away?
Uh,
I'm guessing most likely of elvish descent.
Many elves, some human nobility,
Which that would
definitely
make sense.
dragonborn, goblins, and orcs. Mostly gnomes and halflings were left.
Okay. Do I recognize any of the people that I'm talking to?
That's a good question. Uh, you would recognize Crits, Boris, and Darren Myers. And sorry, not Darren Myers, Ryan Waters. And you would also recognize Craella.
Okay. And those are probably all the people that I'm getting the information from.
For
Right
the
away.
most part, yeah.
Okay. Did they happen to know any of the people that were taken? So we kind of have a list of like missing people.
They saw Eldon Garrick get grabbed initially, and he was taken back by his fellow cohorts in his group. Two of Zorlit's goblin friends were taken.
But of course not Zorlit herself. Anybody grabbing her might have a really bad time.
Someone else tried to grab Borka.
Emphasis on
That did
tried.
not work out.
Yeah, I was going to say.
But from some of the senior staff, senior students, they say some names you might know, some names you might not. They note that they did try and take Sandra Angelo.
Okay. which I believe Sandra was the one that was.
Tried to get Clemis fired.
Yeah, I was going to say accusing Clemis of a bunch of stuff
Yeah.
that was at the party. So what it seems like it's more high nobility or anybody that is more or less what's the word I'm looking for? Well, at least the high nobility they probably use for ransom or something. But it's the elves is the weird part that I'm thinking of. Well, the orcs, depending on what they were planning on doing with them. Same with the goblins. Because it was mostly a army of, from what we saw, hobgoblins and goblins, right? There was few orcs in that.
Bugbears.
Bugbears. More or
And
less
yes,
probably use them
but-
for slaves, now I think
But
about
from
it.
what you heard, there also were a larger number of troops out in the woods that included ogres and giants.
Okay. And the people that are missing would probably be taken for slaves, if not used for ransom, depending on their status. That's just me thinking out loud.
Okay.
Well, just based on like my history with nobility and that
Yeah.
if you capture a noble, odds are you can use them for ransom.
All right.
Yeah, because Sandra's noble descent, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And she had a brother that she was trying to get into the college.
As a staff member, a former
As a staff.
graduate.
Yeah. Okay. Do we know if there's any prisoners that were taken of the attackers?
Yes. There were of those that you would know. Oh, I'm in the wrong thing. Barik was among them,
Okay.
as was Randall Beers.
Can I see where he's at from where I'm standing?
Both
If I-
of them were taken up to the staff building.
Okay, because I'm going to have some questions for Randall. If I
Well,
can
sort
talk
of
to
the
him.
staff.
Yeah, I know.
Barik, if you remember, was the half-orc slave you saw with the bruise on his face.
Yeah, I might try and say you might get more out of him with honey than violence, because he's a slave. Randall, he knows a lot more. Which
I
who
don't
knows when
know.
they're going to start the questioning.
All right.
If Martin's in charge of the interrogation, then there may not be much left.
Depends on when they do the interrogation. If I can get a hold of somebody to talk to.
Uh,
Like, I'm not going to look for somebody. My top priority would right now would be looking for the people we were tasked with looking for.
okay.
Oh, wait, Bim. Would Ryan Waters is in his group? Would he know where he went?
Yeah, you could check with Ryan. Criella is also in that group.
I have more of a rapport with Ryan. That's why
Yeah.
he'd be the first person I'd go to.
Okay. Ryan is definitely looking a little worse for wear himself.
As he probably sees me with a bunch of like bloodied armor, not looking the greatest either.
His armor looks like it's literally damaged, possibly to the point of beyond repair.
Ah,
And he is just using his mace more so as like a cane to hold himself up.
Can I examine to see what is wrong with a medicine check? Or would he just be able to tell me? Just to see if I can help him in any way.
No, a good night's rest and I should be fine, but. And he goes literally just to sort of poke at his breastplate, and it just literally falls apart in his hands into two pieces and falls on the ground. I will recover. Gives it a cap. I don't think that's going to.
Would I be able to use mending on it to try and repair it a bit? Unless there's like giant chunks taken out of it, right?
There is definitely missing pieces.
Okay. Okay. All right. I probably tell him to as soon as he can get to the prayer hall.
He's
to his wounds.
He's just gonna say, Bim went following Frederick into the woods. Frederick went crazier than I think I've ever seen him when Darren fell.
Oh.
Darren's dead.
Yeah, that was his friend that actually wasn't that bad of a guy outside of being friends with Shadowright. When he's around him, dick. Not around him, not so much.
Some of the more gruesome things I saw witnessed upon the staff and students, what those two and a handful of others did was done tenfold.
And he'd be able to point me like in the direction that they went into the woods.
Points more or less northeast.
Okay. If Quark's not sitting right beside me, I would probably just go up and when I see him again and let him know where Frederick and
I've been
Bim
kind of
were.
hanging out next to you on all fours, kind of mimicking your familiar.
Okay, I thought you were more or less looking around
I was,
the area. Okay.
but I figured you want to have a partner.
Yeah, I didn't know if you were in earshot or not.
Like most of the students are kind of freaked out by me anyway, so I figured if I just wandered around, make it look like I'm your familiar, then you probably could get more information.
Yeah. Well, I think no matter what, people are going to be spooked by everything at this point after so little of time has happened since the college was attacked by undead, and now it's attacked by a huge army.
All right, so yeah, if you two are making your way off into the woods,
would it be an idea to maybe go back and get the others to come with us, or try and look for them while the trail's still hot?
your call.
That's up to you. I mean, you're the one leaking blood.
I can still cast another healing word on myself if I need to. Uh,
Quark, you aren't exactly in perfect shape there either.
I was going to say,
No, but I mean, I'm in
So
better
maybe
shape than
something
Andrekia is.
Well, yeah.
I actually have an open wound.
So maybe coming back for another healer would be a
Not a bad idea.
idea.
Or going as a group just in case we get attacked again.
I still have both my potions.
Unless you want to share a potion with me. I only have one spell slot left.
Yeah, sure.
That's implying if we don't go back and grab the others.
I'm ready to go. It's up to you.
I would say it'd probably be best if you're faster than me. So you'd probably be able to run back to me, or run there and run back faster than I can.
True.
I think that might be our better bet. And get Gargan to send his owl out to follow my trail.
Okay.
Okay.
Before I leave, I offer you a potion.
Okay. I'll take it.
Are you taking it now?
Probably be best. That way I don't have to waste an
Alright.
action to try and take it later.
Yeah, so roll it.
And that is a 1d4, right?
Nope. 2d4 plus 2, if I remember right.
Yep.
9?
Oh, yeah, because you forgot to add the plus 2. Alright. Alright, so you're in a bit better shape.
Yep.
Alright, so yeah, you start making your way off Quark, you run back.
Oh, quick question though. If I ask Frederick and what was her name? I'm drawing a blank. Would they be willing to see me?
Oh, you mean Criella and Ryan, who you're with?
Yeah.
Would they be willing to what?
Accompany me into the woods to find Frederick and Bim.
Criella instantly volunteers. Ryan tells her to not go and to stay here, but he will go with you.
Okay.
He literally just looks around on the chaos that's been brought around and grabs a suit of leather armor off of one of the dead bodies of the attackers and throws it on quick and goes with you. Okay, so you two make your way. Quark, it takes you about 5 minutes to get back to the party. So is everybody going with?
So I explained we have a line on the two of the students that are missing. Do you want to come?
Yeah. I'm in.
Be warned, one of them that we're going after is Frederick Shadowright, our good friend.
Alright. So yeah. And Drakei and Ryan, you make your way off into the woods. Is everybody going with Quark?
Yeah.
Alright.
Zin just said in chat that she's going.
Alright, so
Is Soul going?
Saul?
Sure, I'd be willing to go.
Alright. Vincent will as well, although he'll be bringing up the rear.
Yeah. And if we change path at all, I probably mark a tree or something. Like,
Okay.
very obvious mark.
Alright. So yeah. You have a dagger, right?
Yeah,
think.
I have like 3.
Yeah, so you can literally just score the tree and just mark it with some type of symbol so you know, okay, we moved this way.
Probably an A with an arrow.
Okay. So yeah, it takes you a little while to catch up to Quark and Ryan, who they appear stopped looking at a small pile of partial bodies of the attackers, with 3 clear paths off in from here that seem to show the obvious signs of something either went that way or something fled that way.
Okay. I would have to. I would have to roll a survival check in order to find out what kind of tracks they are, right?
Yeah, and in this setting, it would be at disadvantage.
Disadvantage because of the chaos.
Well, that and it's 9 o'clock at night.
True. What? What about Ryan? How is he at survival
It's a good question.
for tracking? Yeah.
He is untrained.
Okay. So am I. So it would be disadvantage no matter what.
Well,
So
the
would
whole
that be
group's there
double?
now. The whole
Oh,
group is caught up to you.
okay. Anybody good at survival? I could probably check to see for tracks for gnome and a human, which would be slightly smaller than a goblin's footprint, wouldn't it? Because Bim's a gnome, right? Or is he?
Bim's a gnome. Uh,
Because I don't know Vincent's skill set, so
uh,
I'm readying a radiant salutation.
he does not. He's not trained in survival. He could try and make an investigation check at disadvantage.
I'm training in survival, but not proficient yet.
I was
Um,
going to say we could ask Sol to do it with her Jack of Trades, but he already rolled it for Vincent.
Vincent, with that, can just say this: the one path clearly looks like it's where things were dragged to this pile. So that leaves 2 paths out of the 3 that they might have gone down.
If what Ryan said is true, most likely they're dragging bodies here. And we were told they were dragging heads earlier. Do you think we should go down the path that looks as if bodies have been dragged from? Or of a question for the group?
Vincent just kind of shrugs. Ryan says he has no. He might have traveled with Bim for many months, but he has not really gotten into the mindset of what goes on in his head.
Ah.
Is my sense of smell keen enough to be able to track Frederick by his body odor, considering he's probably exerting himself right now?
No, but yes, I'll let you do it.
Disadvantage.
Yeah.
Say the pile of bodies might throw your sense off.
True, but I could
No,
go a few steps down each path and look for it. So is that going to be survival or perception?
That would be perception.
And disadvantage or normal?
It'd be normal, because the keen would take it from disadvantage up to even. You smell around and you don't really pick up the scent of Frederick. But you do pick up something that smells flowery. And it reminds you of home.
Strong enough to pique my interest, I guess.
Yeah. And that's down the middle path.
Okay, I think I got something. I don't know if it's Frederick, but it seems familiar. I'm going to follow it.
Okay.
That's probably the best intel that we got right now. I'd probably go with them.
All right. Ryan will follow. Anybody else staying with the pile or going a different way, or is everyone following?
I'm curious where this leads. So I'll
Okay.
follow.
And I'll say the other two would go too if everyone else is. All right. So you make your way down. It takes about 10 minutes, and you come to a small clearing in the woods, and don't really need a strong perception to watch what you're seeing. Frederick and Bim are decapitating bodies in a pile that they have there.
Neat.
Whose bodies?
Some orcs, some humans, a couple of goblins.
I think the question was more or less students or enemies.
These do not look like students. They all seem to be dressed in very similar attire.
Okay. So what was the flowery scent that I picked up on?
Probably Bim.
As you follow it, it is Frederick.
Wow.
Okay.
Huh. I'd probably approach Bim. Cautiously, mind you.
Yeah, I'm not going to be the one speaking here.
Yeah, I'm going to probably be the one speaking. And inform them that who was it, Miss or no, it was Welda, right?
Wilda asked specifically
Wilda.
for them because she figures you wouldn't know the other students who were heading out that way.
Yeah.
Bim just looks up at you, and there is nothing but pupil there, pretty much. What?
We were asked by Wilda to locate you and Mr. Shadowright and get you guys to come back with us to the college.
There's more of them to be found. And if you're looking at Frederick, you see the complete opposite. His pupils are just pins.
And they're talking about just finding more enemies.
Pretty much, yeah.
So they're pretty much on a mission to hunt down everybody. All right, I'd probably say aye. However, the college is also in dire need of your strength. Trying to
Brian just
play.
sort of walks over and very slowly. Oh god, who knows Gnomish?
I do.
I think Vincent does. Yeah. Anyone else?
No, I think I only know orc, elf, and maybe goblin.
Uh,
Hang on, let me see my languages. Oh
okay.
no, dwarf, elf, and orc.
Okay. All right. So yeah, Quark and Vincent would understand what he says. He basically just very calmly, very softly just says, Cryella is crying. And the blade he was dragging through the neck immediately freezes. He sort of wipes it off on the arm of whatever he was working on and puts it away and stands up and, without even saying a word, just starts walking back.
I'd probably turn to Frederick and be like, "What about you, Master Shadowite?" And I'm not doing the sarcastic, calling him master. It's more playing to his ego and his nobility.
Just see his eyes trailing back and forth. Puts his sword away, draws out a dagger, and just starts hammering it into the chest of the thing he was working on a minute ago about 50 times before he just pulls it out and tosses it in his back sheath and starts walking back.
All right, I'd probably say thank you as he's heading back and following behind.
Is there anything I could do to check if they're drugged or enchanted in some way?
I just might be bloodlust or rage.
You can make an Arcana check. Uh, Nothing about their behavior or demeanor or the general feel you get tells you that this is a magical effect. Or at least not without like casting detect magic or something. Uh, all right. As you make your way back in the dark, everyone give me a perception check. Is Zin still AFK?
I believe so, yeah.
Okay. And Saul. Okay. Vincent and Gargan, I'm going to need the two of you to make a deck save. So yeah, both of you had tripped off traps in the woods that went off. Both of you easily sidestep the traps as they go off. One dragging what looks like it would have been a foot snare that launched itself high up into a tree. The other one, a series of 4 spears dart out and just miss, impaling your ankle from 4 directions.
All right. I tell everybody we need to watch out for traps on the ground. Almost got skewered.
A little too close for comfort there.
So yeah, making your way slowly back. You guys get back to the campus, and some people have started. The courtyard definitely still has a number of people there, but the numbers have certainly dwindled. You can see Bim sort of kneeling down by Criella next to Ryan. And you would also notice Martin with an arm around Frederick, just guiding him to the prayer hall.
Okay. Can I ask Martin if he's seen any of the other people we've been looking for before
Sure.
they leave?
Yeah. You can see he sort of pulls at the stubble of his beard, and if you give him the list of names there, he'll say Umbert he saw coming out of the woods from the opposite side of the campus. He went to the Wizard's Tower.
Yeah.
He has not seen Tobias. He has not seen Wendy Lightcaller. Miss Faunhofer had gone up to the staff building.
And then Kaito.
Kaito, he will just kind of laugh and say, if Kaito wants you to find him, you'll find him.
And
So that's what he teaches.
what about Lisbeth and yeah, it was just Lisbeth, right?
Actually, and Soren.
Oh yeah.
Lisbeth, he'll say he's not seen her. And he's simply The deep thought he was in fades, and he just. But Soren was taken.
Okay. Are there still like how many people are still around that we can also ask? Not a lot, right?
Probably about 50.
I would say we could question whoever's left to see if we can find her. Or we might find her amongst the groups.
You're welcome to try.
Or do you guys think we should head to our meeting location? So just
I mean,
put the test meeting.
we basically accounted for almost everybody.
Yeah. And we at least were out there looking around for a while.
Yeah. I was going to ask, what is this meeting location?
Oh,
Yeah,
weren't we told to head to the
No.
prayer hall? Oh,
Well, we head to the prayer hall if you needed it, but
Uh.
I mean, at this point, we're pretty much all first aid level, and we could probably just sleep it off.
Yeah.
which I don't know if we're going to be allowed to go back to the dorms per se, or if we're students being told if you're okay enough, head to the dorms.
Basically, yeah. There was a few hundred people out here about a half hour ago, and now there's like 50.
Unless we want to check out the admin or the faculty building.
I doubt we'd be allowed entry.
Yeah, I'd probably say our best bet is to head to the dorms. Unless anybody
Okay.
wants to go to the prayer hall.
I vote dorms.
I think anybody with available healing skills, they'd probably appreciate the help, but
Like I said, I got one spell slot. I'd be able to help like one person be done. It might be more of a use after a long rest.
I'll go wherever I'm needed.
okay, what's going on in the chat there? They're registering spellcasters.
Yeah, I have a feeling it's because some people must have spells from one of the books that I don't have loaded.
Oh, they're both soul.
No,
Yeah.
Gargan had some earlier in the chat.
Oh, did
Yeah,
it?
it's
Oh,
listing
before
everybody twice when it does it.
Okay. It must happen before I. Oh no, there it is. Oh yeah, me too.
Actually, those are two different messages.
Yeah, it did it for me too. But I notice if I go to my actions, a lot of times it'll go to my selecting prepared / known spells rather than keep it on combat or preparation.
It looks like it just needs you to make some corrections within the spells themselves.
One sec, I figured out what it is. I had this thing. I had them loaded, but you guys had access taken away.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, with what Quark just said, I'd probably just go to the prayer hall and use my last spell slot before heading, or last two. Level 1 spell slot, sorry. Before heading back. Thought I had one. I have two. To the dorm.
All right.
And as I'm heading back to the dorm, I'm gonna shoot the ground somewhere so I get my 2 points of healing.
Okay.
It just walks up to the door, the ground, walks in.
Oh no! I did it myself. Oh well, it's gonna be gone tomorrow anyway.
Yeah. All right. So, guys,
Yeah.
make it back to the dorms. Get to bed.
This is the first time I depleted all my key points.
And get us to the morning. I need the combat tracker for
How to go through level ups?
long rest. Oh no.
Okay. Hey, my spells are back. Yay.
It kind of freaked me out when I chose the last key point and it just disappeared from my action list. Just like, hey, wait a minute. I'm an actor
No.
now.
All right. That's done. That's done. So, in the morning,
It didn't take away all the damage when you click long rest.
okay, yeah.
It gave back my spell slots, but it didn't reset my health.
Yeah, I forgot I have to do the hit points manually.
Oh, that's silly.
It's because of the fix we did for how healing works.
Okay.
I just want to make sure it did give you back your hit dice because it was supposed to. Yes. Okay. All right. So, in the morning, you all find something in your mailbox. Well, two things. The first one is this. The second is to come to the staff building at 9 a.m.
Oh, fun.
Oh no.
Well, probably because they're going to have some sort of meeting. They get like this kind of a big thing. Okay.
All right. Are
Interesting.
you going anywhere before the meeting?
Normally, when we wake up, we go to the cafeteria to eat. But I don't know how well that's going to work today.
Well, I mean, I suppose we could pop in to see if there's a tea and biscuits available.
Or anything, and then if not, we have rations.
Okay. So yeah, time getting ready, getting out of the dorms, making it across. You get to the mess hall and there is food. It looks like mostly bread. some fruit. Not many people are here. Those that are seem to just be sort of poking at their food.
Do I recognize anybody that's here? Or is it just random people that I might have just seen around the campus?
For the most part, it looks just random.
Okay.
Okay, I'll grab a scrap of bread and the juiciest piece of type of fruit that's available.
Okay. Yeah. You guys sit down, eat. Anything you're discussing before you head over to the staff building?
I have a question. Part of the reason why I don't know is because I haven't been here. But has
No worries.
anybody found Tobias?
No.
No.
Oh, fantastic. Are we concerned about this or no?
Yeah. I would
Okay.
be.
Considering how strong he is, yeah.
Okay. I had a thought. Is there any way that I can contact the Reaper to see if he has information on where Tobias is?
Or if he's living or dead.
Yeah.
Okay. You don't know a way yourself, but it would certainly be within the realm of possibilities that Mara might know a way.
Okay. Can I seek out Mara? Do you guys think I have enough time to do this, or should I do this after?
Honestly, that kind of a request would be a bit of an ask.
Okay.
Like,
What do you mean?
exactly how important is this information to you?
Well, no, I was just wondering if we need Tobias on our side for in case if anything happens. I just thought it would be an idea, but
I mean, if it's what I think you're asking, then it's not something you would do casually.
okay, I'll hold on to it then.
Okay. So yeah, you guys eat. Anything you wanted to look into before your meeting?
Nope, there probably wouldn't be enough time to do a lot.
Okay. So,
Yeah, let's just
guys,
get
just
there.
spend a little more time there at the mess hall before you head over to the staff building. Upon arriving, you see Miss Fawnhopper looking a mess behind the desk. Upon seeing you enter, she rises up from the desk, doesn't say a word, and just motions for you to follow her. Takes you up and around, up and around, up and around until you get to the double doors of Lord Collingworth's office. She knocks twice before ushering you in and closing the door behind you, remaining outside of the room.
Yikes.
At first glance, you see the ceiling appears to have been patched with wood. Numerous piles of rubble lay under tarps in near level piles. Here and there, what looks to be a little bit taller than the rest form under the tarps. As you scan around, you finally do spot Lord Collingworth sitting on a floor, appearing to be trying to assemble something, focused completely on the task, almost unaware that you've even entered.
Hello, sir. You requested us?
His head rises up from looking down at what he was working on and just turns to you. Places the last piece and then looks over at you. I hear you were aware they were here. Make a perception check. All of you. So most of you just see the tarps. Vincent and Quark, you realize what he was working on is a pile of bones. And as you look over the tarps, you realize that what looked like normal shapes appears to be the other bodies of whatever he was working on.
Yes, sir. As soon as we found out, we reported it.
Yes, you told her. You see his face just sort of contorts and twitches here and there. I have spoken with Miss Fawnhopper, and I have dealt with her accordingly. I do hope that you will inform me directly next time to ensure you so before following the soft nature of others. Do you have anything further to add?
No, we understand. We reported everything that we saw.
Gets a very creepy smile on his face that almost sends a shiver down your spine. Now go. That lecher will see you are compensated. Oh, and your friend the prince is among those missing.
Yeah, we're sad to hear about that. Thank you, Lord Collingsworth.
And you see he just doesn't even say goodbye, he just turns back to going over the bones.
Yeah, we're gonna kind of back out of the room.
Yeah, so you open the door, Miss Faunhopper's waiting there. She leads you back down to the lobby, goes behind her desk and pulls out a few sacks and bags, and lays out 4 vials beside them. Her eyes glance to the items, tears building in her eyes. Most of them have little notes written on them. And you see another paper just beside it, a small thank you from Lord Collingsworth.
I am deeply sorry that if we got you into any trouble.
She just glances down at the items again.
I think it'd be best if we take it and leave. Don't want to cause any more trouble.
Okay. So, all told, you find 6 platinum pieces, 850 gold pieces, 300 silver pieces, a bag filled with various gems. From the 4 vials, you find 3 labeled potions of stabilization and 1 potion of necrotic resistance.
Oh.
You also find inside one of the bags a chain shirt that appears to be extremely light and flexible and incredibly well made. And finally, the other bag that was sitting there has a little note written on it that refers to it as a Jeffers bag.
Does anybody know what a Jeffers bag is?
I open the party sheet.
Yeah, it's an identified item for you.
Okay.
I'll drop it into the chat to make it easier.
Oh, so it's kind of like a bag of holding.
but a little smaller. But yeah.
Okay. Oh. So we don't know anything more about the chain shirt, do we?
No.
Would Gargan be able to identify it, maybe? If it has magical properties or not?
Well, I can certainly do detect magic on it. All right.
It does not detect as magic.
Okay.
Okay. Does anything else unexpected detect? Anything in the bag of gems? I imagine the 2 potions for sure,
The
and the
4
Jeffers bag.
potions.
Sure. Oh,
The 4 potions all detect as magic. And
Yep.
the bag itself.
the bag and anything in the bag of gems.
Nope, the gems do not appear to be magical.
Okay.
And the shirt is not. Okay.
If I put my hand into the Jeffers bag, is there anything in it, or does it feel empty?
No, that feels empty.
Okay. Just wanted to make sure. So we'd probably have to take that shirt to a blacksmith to see, like, what kind of stats it would have, right?
Yeah, you'd need somebody who knows
Smithing.
about armor or smithing.
Okay. We don't have anybody now. And I would probably say that going to try and get it checked out one of the stores probably wouldn't work out too well right now because of all the craziness that's going on. When we exit the staff building, what is the campus like right now?
Uh, not a whole lot. Not a whole lot of hustle and bustle there. People do seem to be making their way to classes. Some you can see gathered outside the prayer hall waiting to see the status of some of their friends.
Okay. Before class, I would probably going to class.
Yeah, there's no classes actually.
Oh yeah,
Sorry, forgot about that.
Wait a minute.
Yeah, so no
It's
classes.
birthday.
But yeah, it's certainly a somber mood. Some people are waiting outside the prayer hall. Others are in the midst of loading up carts and wagons that had planned to leave right away. and had made arrangements to leave the first day after the solstice?
Okay. I would probably head to the prayer hall to see if I could help in any way. Especially seeing as I probably don't really have much else to do unless anybody has an idea for something we can do.
Hmm? Anybody?
Sorry, I'm updating notes. I mean, honestly, I just kind of want to take a day. We've been through a lot, and since technically we've been debriefed, I mean, between now and when I'm going to be heading back home, it's going to be a few days.
Okay. Like I said, I'd probably just quickly check out the prayer hall and help any way I can by using like my spells or something.
Uh, sure. If you make your way over there, they'll. I gotta see now. What can you guys do?
Just medicine checks.
Yeah, it's as far as like your healing spells, you wouldn't really be able to do much. If it was basic healing, they had that covered. It's more long-term effects and such that they are dealing with. They could use some people to help out making medicine checks to help do what they can.
Yeah, I'd probably do that then.
I'll probably head back to Wilda.
Okay.
I'm still curious as to why another group joined the fray and what the connection is, and if those extra goblins were from this new group or not. And I guess the other thing is just a question on my mind is, were those higher levels of damage just because stronger creatures aim? Is it simple as that, or is everybody doing more damage than what they were perceived to have?
Okay, yeah. So you make your way over to the tower to go check with Wilda. And Drake, yeah, you're going to the prayer hall.
Yep.
Give me 2 medicine checks just to get you started.
Sure. Oop, wrong one.
Yeah, you're definitely able to be of help and be of service for the next little while. They'll gladly take the extra hands to deal with some things that magic was not working on.
Okay. Do I see like anybody I recognize or anybody we were looking for?
Uh, not someone you were told to look for, but you do see Ryan, Bim, and Criella there. Uh, checking on their comrade Rudger.
Okay.
Who you can see has not been magically healed. He appears to have been stitched up.
Probably if I have a chance, I would probably go and just check on them, see if everything's okay. Just like,
Yeah.
considering, but
Ryan greets you with just sort of a head nod. He'll basically fill you in that, yeah, magical healing seems to not be working on a number of the wounded.
wonder if it's a. They'd probably be able to figure out if it was a curse. Uh, and he's one of them, right? Their friend.
Yeah, Rudger is among those. Uh,
And I take it Frederick isn't in here either.
looking right, you do spot Frederick.
Okay. What is he doing?
He is kneeling at the bedside of Darren.
Darren's alive.
Yes. You see some sort of magical contraption beside him, filling his body with magic continuously, but he is alive.
I'd probably reluctantly go and check on him. Just as if it's making my rounds. Which probably is not the smartest idea, but you know.
Darren will wave at you, just nod and smile. Frederick? Looks up at you, gives you a simple nod, then turns back to Darren.
And before I go, I'll tell him if there's anything you need, let me know and I'll see if I can help. And probably just go back to helping others as best as I can.
Okay. So Gargan was going to meet up with Wilda. What was everybody else doing? Quark, you were just taking the day, right?
Yeah, I was gonna read more of my book, see if I could burn through the rest of it before I have to leave for home.
Okay. And Saul and Zin?
I wanted to see about possibly seeing if Mara was around.
Do you want some help with that?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Mm. All right, so Saul. Make an investigation check for me.
Okay. Oh, both of us?
Uh,
I heard my name. That's why I rolled.
yeah,
You said
Oh, okay.
soul.
My apologies.
yeah.
Sorry, I missed the soul
I thought it
part.
was weird that I thought it was weird that it was only me, but I just decided to go with it.
There's a reason for that.
Okay.
With that, you don't quite get anything, so I'll need both of you to we'll make it a persuasion check.
Persuasion.
Wait, hold on. I'm cleaning my glasses. Give me a second.
Oh, I'm very persuasive.
uh, so yes, yeah, your investigation did not discover anybody knowing where she was, at least not from basically just word of mouth, just general going around. You did come across Sarah, who was reluctant to share originally, but the two of you were able to get her talking a bit, and she shared that Mara is at the prayer hall tending to Kara.
What happened to Kara?
She was injured in the raid, and magical healing was not uh, forget not as powerful. It was basically a non-factor.
Trying to see. Trying to see if there's anything that I could possibly do. Um, I'd say let's go to the prayer hall and see if there's anything she needs.
Okay.
Now's probably not the best time to ask her questions, but now that I know her friend's hurt.
Okay. Over there. So you make your way over. You're able to find Mara. Kara appears to be conscious, but Mara is just almost like solid in place, just not moving, watching everything around her.
Um, I would approach her and just ask her, like, what happened and is there anything that I can do?
Mm. She sort of tilts her head at you and You are touched by the divine. Can you aid her?
I can certainly try my best. So did I do it? No, I don't think I did do it.
Oh, so yeah, you'd click the star next to it on the left, and then that would give
The
you
star.
and that'll give you a plus minus to actually get to the actual effects. And there should be a heal with a little red plus
Okay,
sign
and
to click.
level 1 cast spell. I don't know, did it work?
You watch the magic go out of you, but it does not seem to take hold, and her wounds just remain in place. And she just sort of looks up at Mara and listen, darling. It's fine. I'll be out of here soon. And she turns to you. Thank y'all for trying. And she looks around. She's like, there's people far worse than I am.
So just like my magic's not going to work at her at all, on her at all.
Does not seem to, no.
Okay. Well, is there anything that either one of them would need further from me?
Kara just waves you. I'll be fine.
Okay, yeah. Now's not the best time, so I would just turn to Soul and we would just walk on out.
Okay.
I just turn to Soul and say now's not the best time to ask questions.
All right. So you,
Yeah.
okay. So you two make your way out. Gergen. First couple of Wilda, you didn't find her. You do finally find her in her lab.
All right, she doing anything? Is she alone?
She has Lisbeth with her, as well as a few senior students who you're not familiar with. And she appears to be running various tests on the bodies that are laid out on tables throughout the room.
All right, I'll walk up to the other side of one of the bodies she's working on and just start helping her. For starters, while I'm doing that, can I do some sort of investigation check on it?
Sure, you could do an investigation check.
And A, it's to investigate, and B, it's more like an icebreaker, like just kind of working on it. Um, yeah, damn.
Nothing you really find that stands out to you. The only thing you do note is that all of the bugbears you guys killed are in this room.
All right. And so, like while we're working on this particular body together, I'll just casually ask her, what have you noticed so far?
And you can see she thinks about it for a minute and she goes, Lisbeth, points over to one of them, show him. And she conjures up a flame and places it on it, and you watch as the skin begins to heal.
Yeah, this happened to us as well when they were alive. It made it particularly tough for me to help kill them.
She's like, that is not all. She points over to another one and calls over another student who grabs onto the arm, and you can see ice crystals begin to form and then repel back into the hand that was doing it.
Well, that would have taken care of one of my contingency plans. Anything else?
Oh, it's Mr. Risman. And you watch one of the other ones come up to that same one that the guy just got the ice shards blasted back into his palm with. And he literally just he's like, I'm not wasting any more spells. He lights a torch and places it on the body, and you watch this thing just start to blaze and sear through the flesh like instantly. And they put out the fire. It's like every one of them has been altered to their very existence. And you can see he just grabs looks like they had some saws and stuff out. He literally takes a saw and goes to cut into the orc that was on the other table. And he goes back and forth for a good 5 minutes, and you see it has not even scratched the skin. But he pulls out a dagger and is able to peel it away like nothing.
And just, if you don't mind, can you just tap that same one with the torch?
It burns, but not as well as you would think the torch should have burned the flesh.
Just kind of say to the group, fascinating. Have any, can I ask, have any patterns come up in all your, over the course of the experiments? Does one body have one property, or do they all have similar property?
They all are unique. That said, most that were resilient to flame were very much not to ice and cold, and vice versa. Uh, one that seemed to basically negate all lightning that struck it was able to have its chest caved in with a rock. It's as if their very being was magically rewritten. But for everything they could negate, there was always a consequence.
You mean if they had resistance to something, they had a vulnerability to something else?
Yes.
Hmm. And this is probably harder to experiment because I guess it could only be based on eyewitness accounts, but have you learned anything about their uh, attacking and damage abilities? For example, we've heard tales that people were getting injured far more severely than what the opponent, would, or the one that would guess taking a look at the opponent, and that there just seemed to be more of them. Have you learned any more of that about that?
He they all sort of look at you like, well, they definitely had more numbers that came from the woods, uh, precisely at the lighting of the fire. Um, when the ogres first showed, most of the senior students were still able to somewhat compete and defend themselves until they ran into uh, the oddities like this. Once the ice giants came, many others suffered far worse fates.
Hmm. And I turn to Wilda, and I kind of look at her even more seriously, and I ask, "Well, do we have a sense of a connection between this group and the original visitor? This new group, that new group, and the original visitor."
A number of the orcs that were among with the ogres did still bear uh, did still bear the markings of various clans that were there from Long Tier.
Hmm.
There was Also Lord Craigle himself, who his involvement certainly brought with it a certain meaning.
Can you elaborate on that?
It took some digging, but Lord Craigle was not simply a disgraced noble. His family was banished from Herondal, as it came to be found that they were actually supplying weapons and armaments to the residents of our friends to the north in Fictortan.
Any idea why Craggleworth would want to try to take one of our comrades? And Drake guy in particular. You know him.
I'm not familiar with House Sky, but most of what they went after were nobles. However, many elves were also targeted. And Dragonborn. And a few tieflings. The humans that were taken all were noble. Most likely to be ransomed back to their families to help fund whatever the next plan they have is.
I guess two more questions. One, do we have any prisoners to interrogate?
They did manage to capture about a half dozen to a dozen or so alive. They were taken. 3 of them were goblins, which are no longer alive, but the remainder, I believe, Martin was dealing with.
No, I would know where to find them, right?
You might not. Gargan would.
I'm Gargan.
Oh. Sorry, yes. You would, because this is the same place that you got taken when you were arrested on the first day of school.
Okay. All right. And Martin's a different Martin than my Martin, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Martin, right. The Martin they're referring to is Martin Breyer, the head of discipline and the head of senior combat training at the school. He's one of the people who broke up the fight on day 1.
Yes. Oh yeah. All right. Yeah, we chatted with him. Yeah. All right. In my head, I'm just thinking my next move is gonna be to offer my unique services in interrogation to Martin, since he probably has a few teams working at once. And before I go there, I asked, is there anything I could do to help in this investigation process?
No, we're going through much trial and error. That's about it.
And does anyone know the whereabouts of Lord Craggle? We were actually battling him when he disappeared, literally.
What do you mean disappeared?
Yeah,
What did you
disappeared.
see? Precisely. What did you see?
Ah, I didn't realize you didn't know this. Yeah, well, he, let's see, he seemed to favor the spell Chromatic Orb. Uh, thank goodness he doesn't have the best aim, as perhaps he did in his younger days. And when he saw the he was very interested in taking Master Sky. Um, and when it looked like the battle was turning against his side, he vanished. I I assume it was some sort of teleportation power as opposed to simply going invisible.
No, we actually saw a portal.
We actually saw a portal, and he sort of disappeared into it.
Then it's safe to say he's returned to Longtier. Thank you. This information was most helpful.
No, I'd like to think we've proven ourselves capable and loyal. And if there's anything you know, and maybe up to now we're hesitant to share, please be assured our loyalty will continue and share it so we can help in any way we can.
She nods. I am well aware of your gifts, Master Gargan. However, I would be beyond hesitant to send you and your comrades into the heart of Longtier blindly.
Understood. But if there's anything we could do to help, or anything you think us knowing would be able to help the common cause, please let us know.
I shall.
All right. Well, I'll let somebody else do their stuff, but my next step is ultimately to swing by Martin and off my interrogation services.
Okay. Anyone else have anything they wanted to get to before that?
I was more or less wanting to talk to Miss Faunhopper, but it doesn't seem like I can do that right now.
You can go check with Miss Faunhopper.
More of a private chat than in a public forum, which I don't think, with the way Lord Collingsworth is acting, to probably try and get that. Because who knows how high security is going to be.
Okay. Anybody else? If not, then yeah, Gergen will go through you heading over to the staff building. So you make your way over, and Miss Faunhopper remains behind the desk. Simply glancing at you.
And well, I guess that's my portal to get to Martin, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So I'd say good. Yeah, if it's afternoon, no, it's still morning. I say, "Hey, morning, Miss Faunhopper. Are you feeling a little better? Yesterday was pretty rough, I imagine."
She just stares at you, shaking.
Oh, that's what can I do for her? All right, can I do an insight check? Try to
Yes,
understand
yes,
what
you
her
may.
outlook. Not that it ever does me any good, but you never know. I can always get lucky one day. There we go.
The entire time, both times you've been here today, she has not said a word. In fact, she has not uttered a single sound. And when you look at her now, you realize her mouth is sealed shut. And she seems to have an almost panicked expression on her face. And except for when you briefly see her nostrils flaring here and there, you realize that she cannot get anything in or out of her mouth.
Oh, gee. Do I get a sense this was a disciplinary maneuver, or
Based on your conversation with Lord Collingworth earlier, yeah,
yeah, and that he was probably the discipliner?
more than likely.
Oh, this would be a great time. I say, Miss Hornhopper, I totally understand and sympathize with you, and I'm sure this is only temporary, so don't panic. Um, if there's something on your mind you want me to know, just nod, or I guess I suppose you could write. But if you can't,
You can. She nods, but
all right. So just Miss
her
Farnhopper,
hands seem to be balled into fists that are not unclenching.
understood. Miss Farnhopper, I know we haven't been particularly close these last few months, although certainly never hostile. And you know, my good friends are good friends of yours. So you can feel safe around me. My friends care about you very much. Can you turn the music down a little?
Yeah.
I guess now the services I was going to offer is twofold. I was going to offer Martin my services to help interrogate prisoners, but I could also use that same skill for you to communicate with me, but only if you want to. You need to just nod.
She nods.
Okay. All right. And can I assume she knows what I'm talking about as far as detect thoughts?
She may or may not, because
Well, I'll tell her. I guess one of my limited abilities is I can uh, hear the thoughts of others. But my policy, I would never do it on a.
she immediately begins shaking her head. No, 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 no.
No. Okay, then I won't do it. What I was going to say is I would, my policy would never to be use it on another person other than an actual enemy, just for the sake of it. So I offer it to you. If in the future you need to express yourself, just let me know. But right now, it's imperative that I speak to Martin because I want to help figure out what happened.
She sort of nods across the way, and you see a chair.
Would you like me to wait there?
And she nods yes.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you. And again, that offer is open any time. All right. I consider you a friend.
Yeah,
And
as soon as you're seated, she heads up the stairs. A little ways later, she comes downstairs, Martin in tow. You can see he's reapplying his gloves, putting them on, and you can see a rag tucked into his belt that appears to have some blood on it.
yeah.
Ah! What can I do for you?
Well, Martin, sir, I know, I want to assure you that since our first meeting, my friends and I have matured by leaps and bounds. And I'm here to offer my services to help you with the interrogation process that I would imagine anyone in your position would want to do if we had some of those scoundrels alive.
Oh, myself and Captain Jennings have been quite busy and taken to task. What could you offer?
I can read their thoughts and tell you what they're thinking while you ask the questions. And as much as deserving they are as a good beating, um, knowing what they're actually thinking, I think would prove very useful.
Interesting.
And let's
Come.
see.
And he literally just motions a finger for you to follow him and goes back up the stairs.
Yes. Yep. I tell him. Yep.
And
I can do this twice a day, every day.
about halfway down the hall, he stops. Knocks on the wall and it opens. And he takes you down this hallway in the middle of the wall to a series of cells and then a steel door on the other side. And you see the individuals that are there. All of them seem to have their hands bound together and chained to the floor with their mouths gagged. He turns to look at you. Is there one in particular you wanted to speak to.
So here's what I can offer as far as the nuts and bolts of it. I could do it twice a day, every day. It lasts but a minute, so the questions would be best to be brief and with short answers, so we could get through a lot of them. I could learn their surface thoughts without them being able to stop me.
Yeah,
Um,
he knows what it is. He's just asking you, is there one of these in particular that you personally had wanted to speak to?
Oh no, I defer to your experience. But I will say the ones who look like they have the worst judgment are probably the easiest to succeed on. To start it off. So if one of them struck you as having particularly poor judgment, I say we start with that person or thing, anything that I could whose language I could understand and speak. And these are all humans that are still alive. You said.
There's 2 humans.
I do speak
2 humans, 2 half orcs, 4 orcs, and 1 hobgoblin.
All right, I speak hobgoblin. I speak hobgoblin, ogre, bugbear, and I'm just trying to think of orcs on this list here. And Underdark of orcs. So, or Undercommon. Again, perhaps the human with least judgment would probably be the best place to start.
And you see he just turns, cell 3, bring him to the room. And he sort of leads you down to the steel door at the end, opens it. This room is white. Like, this room is it's almost like the walls themselves are a giant light source. They drag in the human and high or low.
Anyway, and what I was going to say is his first question, I'll do surface thoughts before we get to the saving throw part.
Okay. All right, that helps. So yeah, they bring in.
Oh, and
this
it's my
guy.
expectation that Martin does the asking and I do the reading.
Yes.
Okay.
All right, so they take and clip his bound wrist chain to the floor in there, and Martin just looks at you with a nod and, are you enjoying the accommodations?
Surface thought.
Just get it over with and kill me.
Okay, I report that. But I whisper it to Martin. Alrighty. And now
Where did you come from? So he gets a saving throw, right?
Yeah, wisdom saving throw.
Is 16 a pass?
16. Damn. Let's see. What would I be? That's
The spell DC.
It's always automatic, so it's What's 8 plus? Let's see. Give me 1 second. Yeah, proficiency plus intelligence. So I don't think he's going to make it.
15, I believe that is for you then.
All right.
So
he
yeah, he fights it off.
fights it off. I tell him to quickly ask a few of the other folks around a quick question, and I'll get their first thoughts before a minute up.
It's just you three in the room.
Yeah, well, you better. You got 45 seconds to ask somebody else a quick question.
He
Or you're
pounds
gonna.
on the door and they open it up. It's like, "Have you eaten?" The
That's what he
guard
asked.
just looks confused, like, "No, what?" Literally, his answer out loud is "No, what?" And the answer you hear in his head, "What? Why? Huh?"
All right. Maybe. Oh boy. All righty. All right. So getting back to that first one, um, I'll just cast it again. All right, and I'll nod him to ask him another question. And this will be the surface thought for the second spell.
Okay.
And out of respect, I'm not going to be Martin. Got to step up your questioning, but I just quietly try to do my job.
Mm. What was Lord Craggle's goal?
All right. So what's his surface thought to that?
The surface thought you hear is basically, what does he want?
Okay, I report that and I'll force the save.
Cat got your tongue? And he pulls out a dagger. I could take it.
Ooh, with a disadvantage, perhaps.
Yes, it will be.
Thank you.
So yeah, he fails. What is it you get?
Okay, so now it's literally what's left of this minute, I will be able to just you know
Oh, wait a minute.
read his thought. And it even says
I do want to check one thing. What spell is it again?
detect thoughts.
It's what?
Detect thoughts.
Yeah.
So in the description, it says it's a spell particularly useful for interrogation.
Within 30 feet, creature, blah, blah, blah. You gain no insight into the reasoning, if any, or its emotional state looms large in minds. Oh, if it succeeds, the spell ends immediately.
Right. That's why I had to cast it a second time.
Yeah. Either way, the target knows that you are probing their mind, and unless you shift your attention to another creature's thoughts, the creature can use its action to make an intelligence check contested by yours, and the spell ends. Oh, even if it had failed. So it's aware that you were trying to read its thoughts before, so it knows this now.
Right.
Already.
Right.
So I'd say it would just get its imposed intelligence checks. I don't think you can roll lower than that because you actually have a modifier.
It says creature attacks, make an attack. Just your attention. Alrighty. So
Yeah, I
you
think
know,
I think your minimum is a.
well, I could roll. Do we get at least one question out of him before we start? The way I figured it would be, there'd be like a question and then a check, and then a question, then a check.
It's but even if he had failed the save the first time, he still knows you're reading his thoughts.
Yeah. Alrighty, so I'll roll just to see if I didn't think.
So he's already on guard, knowing that something is going on.
Okay. All right, so I'm just going to do an intelligence check then, right?
Yeah.
And then,
even if you roll a 1, you still beat him. So.
Okay.
All right. So yeah, you'll get. He simply says. Out loud, he says, "What plan?" And in his mind, you hear. Like, I'm told the details.
All right, I share that with him, with Martin.
He unclips him and drags him out, opens the door, and points to the guard. And, haven't you taken lunch? And he throws the guy in the cell and asks to have another one sent over. And you hear the service thoughts. Why does he keep talking about lunch?
I say, sir, for today, this is our only guy. But this still works 30 feet away, so you could still ask him more questions.
Yeah, but if he's grabbing another guy to bring into the room.
Yeah, I'm telling him that that's not going to be. I won't be able to help much with anyone else today.
Okay. All right. So he throws that one in. They chain him up. He says, sort of escorts you out back into the hallway. And as soon as your guys are back out there, he says, so this worked as well as all the others?
Well, if you ever think there's a situation where that might help again, please let me know.
I'll keep it in mind. And he escorts you back down the stairs and then heads back up.
And as I leave, I turn to Cornhopper and I ask her, is there anything I could do for her, or get for her? And if she says no, I'll just tell her to stay strong, and this will end.
She just shakes her head no.
All right, I go.
Okay. What's the next plan of action for the day? Anybody?
I'm waiting for time to push forward a bit.
My mic muted.
Okay.
Oh, okay, there we go. For some reason, my mic didn't look like it was picking me up. Probably after I do a bunch in the prayer hall, I would probably go for lunch or
Okay.
just eat something, keep my strength up.
So yeah, about one, you've probably put in enough time there, and they thank you for your efforts and say if you want to come back, you can, but pretty much this is them playing a guessing game.
Pretty much changing bandages, that sort of thing.
For the
Seeing if
most part, yeah.
anything's working. I don't know if Gargan's going to meet up at the mess hall after he's done doing what he's doing.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Okay, so you all meet back up,
Except me.
except you. Oh, where are you?
I'm in my room reading my book.
Oh, right. I forgot. Where's my?
He's taking it easy for a while. Especially after that.
Like I said, I'm
Harold.
waiting for time to advance to a certain point.
Which is fair, like, so we've done quite a bit the last few days.
All right, so the rest of you meet up for lunch.
I'd probably ask everybody, like, what did they get into up to today?
I'll certainly share what I learned about Krygel.
Vincent will just say that he's
Trying to hide and stay out of the way, I guess.
he's just been trying to, yeah, stay hidden and see if he notices anything, but it's kind of depressing.
Well, it's been like, what, 2 months since or has it been 3 months since the whole zombie incident?
uh, let's see here. That was 50 days ago.
Oh, so there you go.
Less than 2 months.
Yeah, so it's just like, yeah, that'd probably be a little depressing at that point. It's like, fuck the school. What is it with the school? I probably share the information about the wounds of anybody in the prayer hall aren't healing, but with magic. Uh, they don't know what is going on.
Uh, Zen and Saul would be able to corroborate that as well.
Yeah, especially Zin has first-hand experience too.
Hmm.
So how far through that book am I?
About 2/3.
If I really burned it through, could I get it done before the 26th?
Yeah, I think so.
About how much time per day would I need?
Uh, 6 to 8 hours for each of the next two, and then it'd be easier to figure out from there.
Okay.
Oh.
I like hearing that "oh" out of nowhere.
All right. Vincent actually wants to take a chance to see if he can figure out what that chain shirt is. Never mind, doesn't matter. I figured it was worth a shot when I saw that.
That was a nice thought while it lasted. uh,
Actually, if you're looking at the gems you already had just stored and compare them to these, you can identify two of them as lapis lazuli.
the morning star that we got from one of those bugbears. Did we roll an Arcana check on it to see if it had any magical properties?
It is not magical.
Okay, I wasn't sure if we did. It just looks like it seems to be a regular morning star, I guess.
Yep.
Okay. I was just
The morning star, the long sword, and the short sword were all just normal weapons,
okay.
as was the battle axe.
Yeah, I was just thinking because of like wounds not healing, maybe there's something about these weapons that we're not seeing. But if they look like they're made out of normal metal and everything, then that's not the reason. Um, about the Randall, do I know for a fact that he's been captured, or you were just saying that out of?
No, you saw him. He was in the room. He was in like the cells.
Oh no, this is in Drakei asking.
Oh, yes, you saw him.
Okay. I probably would want to talk to the party in a private area, maybe one of our dorms later on, to discuss a few things, if they're willing. Like someone just let them inside one of our dorm rooms, and then we can discuss a few things privately.
Sure.
If anybody sees Quark, let him know as well, because he, as far as I know, he hasn't left his dorm.
We can have the party at Quark's.
Just bang on his door. Let
Yeah.
us in.
All right. So you guys left from lunch. Did you have any plans after that?
After hearing what happened to Miss Von Hopper, probably not. if nobody has anything, we could probably see if Quark will let us in his room. Or are we just going to wait until
All
night?
right, around 4:00, I burst out of my room and just go tearing through the snow out in the courtyard. Just screaming all the while, too much reading! So for the next just under an hour, I'm going to be doing jumping exercises. And that takes us to 5:00.
Okay. I didn't know what the trigger was. I just figured it jumps ahead in time.
Yeah, I was wondering what was going to happen.
I've been intensely reading for 6 hours.
Uh,
And I'm a monk who's a physical fitness nut.
yeah. So you would probably go for dinner before
Around
after
5,
that?
yeah.
Yeah, okay. I would say if everybody's okay with it, we meet up for dinner around that time, or
Yeah.
me trying not to push the narrative on everybody.
So you guys catch me up while I indulge in a protein-heavy dinner.
Is there even protein at dinner? That'd be the real question.
Yes, there is mass quantities of chicken, and that's about it. But nobody's allowed seconds because they don't really have.
The means.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd probably go for the chicken.
Oh, how did you want to distribute? Is there anything out of the items that you know what they are that anybody was wanting to get? And who's actually going to be carrying the Jeffers bag?
Like, I'm pretty encumbered, so I probably wouldn't.
Honestly, one of the primary healers, I think, should.
Yeah, so that would all be either Soul or Zin. Most likely Soul, because Zin more frontline. Or me. I guess I could probably carry it. It's not that big of a deal.
Yeah, it's 3 pounds.
Yeah.
Yeah, like a mid-range or a backliner probably should.
And I could probably just throw a couple of my extra items in there that I would use for combat.
Okay.
Just so I'm not constantly carrying so much weight in my backpack.
Yeah. Well, effectively, you could replace your backpack.
I thought it could only hold up to 45 pounds.
75.
75.
5. Oh, okay.
A backpack can hold less than that.
Yep. I'd probably change everything from my backpack into the Jeffers mag then.
Honestly, we should probably put the tents in there.
Honestly, you're probably right. But the tents are usually stored on the wagon, which...
Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh, like when we take it off the wagon and go somewhere?
The tents combined are 60 pounds.
And this, yeah. How much can this thing hold?
75.
Oh, 75 pounds. Okay. Yeah, that would eat up all the room.
Right, but that would leave a lot more storage on the wagon. We could just put the tents back on the wagon if we needed a more, something more priority to go into the bag.
It's fair.
And honestly, it also means we wouldn't need to take the wagon everywhere if we didn't need to.
Fair. Okay, yeah, that sounds like a better
All
plan.
right. All right. So Andraki will get the bag and the tents.
I'd probably say put the potion of stabilization. What does that do?
There's 3 of them actually.
Prevents you from dying.
I would probably
basically,
say
if you apply it you dump it down the throat of somebody who's unconscious but not already dead, and they stabilize at 0 hit points. And the
okay.
effects last for up to 3 hours after being consumed or until the first instance that you're stabilized. So if you took this, say, at the start of a battle,
Okay.
as soon as you got knocked to 0, you'd be stable.
I would probably say put at least one of them in the bag and maybe give another one to Soul. Then if we want, we'll figure out what to do with the third one.
Okay. So, Dracei for 1, comma, Soul for 2. The potion of necrotic resistance.
I would say give that to a frontline fighter. They're most likely going to be the ones hit with that.
So that would be Zin or Quark.
No, my potion belt's already full.
All right.
Is that
Zin by default.
There we go.
I didn't want to get one right away, but I need to replace it with another healing potion soon.
The battle axe, the longsword, and the morning star. Are we just going to keep put that on the wagon or something, or are we going to try and sell those?
Sell those.
Okay.
If somebody wants to use one of them, it's fine.
I think we said the morning star might be better for Zin than what she has currently, did we? Or we were talking about it, but she wasn't here.
Do deities have favored weapons?
Ooh, good question.
I can't remember if that's a thing in this system.
Yeah. Well, if
Not really.
Okay.
But I'm trying to see what the damage on that thing is.
It's a 1d8. I was just looking at it.
And it's D8 piercing.
Yeah, it would do more damage. Well, she already has a Morning Star, which does the same for bludgeoning. Or sorry, a Warhammer.
Okay.
The Halberd does more damage.
Well, the Warhammer's two-handed, correct?
No, the Halberd is.
Oh, okay. I thought Warhammers were two-handed wielding.
Is the halberd a reach weapon?
Warhammer can be wielded. It's versatile, so it can be wielded as two-handed and goes up from 1d8 to 1d10.
Okay.
Yes, the Halberd has reach,
Okay.
but she can't use her shield when she's using the Halberd.
And the Morning Star has the same reach, but she can use her shield?
Yeah,
Or no,
same
wait.
with the Warhammer. Anything with reach is two-handed for the most part. I don't think there's an exception to that. Oh, actually, her whip has reach, and it's one-handed.
That she had a whip.
Yeah, she carries like 10 weapons. So
I was going to say.
She's more of a fighter than a paladin. Jesus.
I was going to say, when she's wielding the halberd, the shield is the person in front of her.
Yeah. Well, if we can't think of anybody that can use these, including the leather armor, probably sell it all.
Yeah.
If we can. I don't know what the shops are like right now.
Yeah, if you head upstairs and go check and see if they'll take it, they are definitely in short supply of some stuff right now.
Would they be able to tell us what the graceful chain shirt armor is?
We can ask.
Because it has no stats to it, so that's why I'm really curious about it.
But I do see one rather obvious difference between that and a regular chain shirt.
It's graceful.
No, it's 5 pounds lighter.
Oh, is it? So yeah. Because it also doesn't say what kind of metal it's made out of either. So if it's 5 pounds lighter, it's got to be made out of a higher grade metal than just iron or steel.
Yeah, so yeah, it's by the time you get up there, Strand's on, and he will certainly buy the weapons.
Wait, is Strand the one that doesn't like me? Or is that the one that does like me?
I think that's the one that does like you.
I was like, oh, let me check my my shops. Oh yeah, I do have Strand's private stash. Okay, so he is the one that likes me.
Okay, so
Oh, and his members club.
So if I don't have Strand Store, I'm just looking in the quartermaster's.
yeah.
Okay.
All right, so I added that to the party treasure. And yes, Strand will. He charged you guys a 5 gold identification fee, but he will tell you what that chain shirt is.
Okay.
Mithril chain shirt.
Ooh, that's good.
So weighs 5 pounds less than a normal. Max dex goes up to 3. Oh, actually, it should have identified as magic, even though it's not magic. The metal itself is considered magic.
Oh. And an AC of 13, eh?
Yep.
Oh, question is, who would really... Would that be good for Gargan to use? Because of how light it is?
Yeah, I don't think I'm allowed to use armor of any.
Well, I mean, you can. It's medium armor, which you're not proficient, so you automatically lose 1 point of the AC.
Okay.
And you run into a 50% chance of your spells failing every time you cast them.
Let's not do that for him.
I appreciate the sentiment, but
what about Soul? Or wait, this puts oh no, it doesn't affect your stealth.
No, it doesn't affect stealth, but it would potentially affect her spells.
Okay.
What, the chainmail armor?
Yeah. It's
So
also
I
medium.
can't actually
so
wear.
you have.
Yeah, I
You have
can't
light
wear
armor,
chainmail
right?
armor since I only. Yes, I thought about it. I looked at it and I considered it because it would be great to have 2 more points of protection, but it's not my proficiency, so it actually gives me more problem.
Oh, so the only person that could probably use it is either me or Zin. Unless we sell it. It would put my AC down by 1, but my dexterity bonus up by another 1. I don't know how badly that would
What do you have
affect
currently?
Zin. I have scale mail
Wait, what do you?
snug.
Well, one sec. Let me see here. Let me check Vincent if he has
I
medium
think
or not, or if he's just
Oh yeah,
light.
forgot about Vincent.
No, he only has light as well, so it's not proficient with it. So
It'd have to be either me or Zen,
yeah.
or we sell it.
I
Would
mean,
it
you're gonna have
would
to
it be
sell a
an
set of
investment?
armor anyway. So if one of you uses it, the armor you're currently using would have to be.
Cool.
So
I have chainmail.
it does not benefit Andrakei that much
Yeah, that's what
because of your dex. But Zin, no, Zin also is not at like a +3 modifier, so she wouldn't get the extra dex AC.
Yeah. So what we would probably our best bet is probably sell it if nobody can use it, or keep it as extra armor in case our armor breaks.
Or if Saul or Vincent started working towards becoming proficient in medium armor,
That's fair.
then they would
To be
both of them would get the full value of dex, and they would both get the full value of wrong thing. Full value of the armor. The only thing it would still affect is the arcane, which I believe while it is medium, it would count as okay, so yeah. Because of the material, it is medium armor, but it's for spell failure, it would only be 20% because of the type of metal.
So it's seeming like unless Vincent wants to do medium armor proficiency, this is pretty much useless to the party.
Yes, it was good at one time, and then your party kept changing.
Yeah. I vote sell it.
Yeah, I'm thinking sell it too. Chance of spell failure isn't exactly the best thing. I think me and Andrakia are the only ones with healing spells we actively use in battle.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's like can't. If we end up spell failure with a healing spell, I don't know. I don't want to imagine that.
Yeah. And I'm more like I try to buff the party sometimes, right? So I'm
Yeah.
gonna have failure that way. Especially when people are dying, considering the last battle.
All right. So Strand is willing to give you guys 220 for it.
Can you go 250?
Make a persuasion check.
Oh, this is not going to work out well for me. He likes me, don't I get advantage? I'm kidding. Yeah, he's not going to take that. That's a 5.
No.
He's going to be like, 220. Take it or leave it. Or it'll go down. I'm okay with the 220 if everybody else is.
Everybody good with that?
I'm good.
Okay.
No real arguments.
Sounds good.
All right.
Okay.
So if you want, I can spread out your
Oh, I thought we were selling the battle axe.
Oh. Yeah. I just missed it on the sheet.
Oh, okay. I was like, wait a minute, we forgot one.
Everything else was down below all the bags and gems.
Yeah. Are we just going to put the bags and gems inside the bag? At least the identified ones? Or do we want to try and see if we can sell those?
Sorry, say that again?
Like the lapis lazuli, the opaque light blue green gem, the opaque, like the random gems that we have. Do we want to try and get those identified and find out what they are, or do we want to get rid of them? Because I don't know what the lapis lazuli would be used for.
It's a fairly common
I think,
gem used as components
I
in
think,
spells.
I think we have to ask Gargan about this.
Also, potions of healing are really cheap right now.
Are they really?
Yeah. Like 16% off.
Oh, that's a potion belt. Wrong thing. I'm like, wait a minute. Oh no, I'm in his my special one.
Yeah, I'm just talking in the basic quartermaster store.
Yeah. I was just seeing if there was anything interesting that we could buy. Okay, let me check the quartermaster.
I mean, we should identify the gems first, because if they're worth a lot, you want to keep them because it's better than carrying around 5 pounds of coin.
Yeah. Oh wow, 55 for a potion of healing. Got anything else good in here? Oh, sorry, I'm looking at Sharon's private stash.
It's
Right
cheaper
now.
in the basic quartermaster.
In the basic items, there was a couple that got thrown back in there for 50 straight up.
Yeah, I purchased one.
Yeah, there's only 3 more left at that price.
Um, how much? I would say it'd probably be worth it to get the potions of healing.
Yeah, I would.
Well, we have this money because we
Yeah.
used what 2 in the last
Yeah.
fight.
Yeah, I think we should stock up on those whenever we can.
Yeah. So, do we want to get the one from Strand's private stash as well? Or how many
Yeah.
does he have? He has 3.
At 50?
Yeah, no, at 55.
Yeah, definitely.
So altogether, that would be what 220-ish, going from both of them, or no, 320.
315.
315. I was close. I was looking at the one, and then I was like, oh yeah. That would give us 6 potions of healing. We can. That's pretty much one for each party member.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, if you're cleaning out both of those shops.
Yeah.
Was that private stash or members club?
It's in it Strand's private stash that I'm looking at right now.
Okay.
I haven't looked in.
No, there's no potions of healing in the members club. That's
No, I was going to look at my other ones, but I don't think anybody else does that.
What?
I think everybody has what Null's secret shop.
yeah. So I'm just
What does it
zeroing
take
out.
to get into the members club?
Apparently killing a horse.
What?
That is legit the reason why I'm in there. Oh wow, the prayer hall 60 for potions of healing. They have 7 though. They actually sell.
Yeah, that's the usual rate.
Yeah. Even $5 off of, or 5 gold pieces off is really good. Like if we go, wow, we got like almost what 10 platinum pieces in the party.
And over 1,000 gold. am I
Oh
taking
no, I
the?
meant if you bumped it up, the 1,000 gold up, it would be another platinum, right? So it'd be 10 platinum, 121 gold. If I'm trying to remember how this stupid exchange works.
No, it's over 100 platinum.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we kind of have a lot of money right now that we could
But yeah, if I'm
stock
taking
up on
the
healing potions.
if I take the 315 from there, so it'll be, and then that goes down to. Okay, there we go. And let me.
Wow. Null Secret Shop has 2 potions of healing that are very expensive.
Okay, 6 potions of healing are now in the party treasure there. So if I go in Drakei, Zen, Quark, Gargan, and Vincent. Okay. All right. Am I good to split this up right now so that the party treasure does not look like chaos anymore?
Works for me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Works for me too.
Just give it a second.
Let's split up all Z gold.
There we go. Oh, the potions of healing didn't do what they were supposed to. I'll have to manually go drag those all over. All right, so we start with. So I'll take those off there and then just go through and one apiece.
Okay. While you're doing that, I'm just cleaning up my inventory.
And I think for everybody, they're getting dropped at the bottom of
Yep.
your inventory. And okay, there we go.
Okay. Saying that I have 138.
Someone refresh me on like how often we can change currencies to higher or lower ones.
Whenever you're in town or at the
Town, not
college.
college.
Town or college.
Okay, and you can spend those pieces anywhere, or is it like variable depending on the location?
What do you mean?
Like, so you wouldn't expect to see a peasant holding a platinum piece, for example.
No.
No. So it's like, would most pieces in general be able to take things like platinum pieces, or or is it like for stores of a certain influence level?
At the college, you can spend them freely. Certain parts of Alrezen, it'd be fine. Other parts of Alrezen, especially in like the slums, would be iffy. Had you have tried to spend it when you were in Fawn Garden, that would have been very, depending on where you were.
Oh, doing this is popping that chat off a lot.
Yeah, whose is that?
That's me. I'm just adding some things to the Jeffers bag instead of having them in my backpack.
Okay.
Like the diamond, my blanket, the potion of stabilization, the potion of healing, sort of things. Like really small items. Because we have the 3 tents in there right now.
Okay, yeah, and it says it's at 61.5 out of 75.
Yeah. Well, I guess I can clean up my inventory at the end.
Yeah.
And just make it easier.
Okay. Actually, if nobody has any other major plans for the day, I think we can call it there.
Okay. Yeah, the only thing I would do in the afternoon would be, it's been a while since I looked for any herbs. I don't know if that's
winter.
something you roll. Oh, is it winter? Does Hellaville grow anywhere in the winter?
We're in the middle of winter.
Let me check.
It takes 20 Hellaville just to make 1 potion of healing. We only have 5.
Yeah, you're pretty much buying that.
You're talking about calling it for the night, or
I think he's talking about for the session.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I meant for the night like session.
Why is this not showing up?
We still have one of the potions of stabilization in the party inventory.
That's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine? Okay.
Oh, there we go. No, that does not grow in winter.
Okay.
All right. So, unless anybody else has any questions,
I can wait until next time to do the party meeting I wanted to do.
okay.
Yeah, just in case it takes a lot longer.
I figured that way Vincent's actually here as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it does make more sense.
All right.
So after finish at the shop, I'm going to do 2 more hours of reading before I go to actually sleep.
Okay,
And
well,
I probably would have
we're-
said
yeah,
something to Quark at dinner.
Wait,
But-
did we level up?
let me stop the recording.
Because leveling up is chaos.
No, it's because leveling up is supposed to be done.
Oh, prior to the
Also,
session?
how do we use parcels again?
Huh?
Parcels?
Yeah, for the exchange.
you drag them onto your sheet, onto your inventory.
Okay, maybe I'm just lagging then, because I've been trying to do that. It's just
Okay, so there we go. I can just do this for you, Saul. Make it easier. What are you trying to move?
I'm gonna be probably doing something like change the leave like 50 silver pieces or 56 silver pieces, and change that to gold, and then all the gold I leave around 80 gold pieces, or 83 in this case because of the leftovers.
Okay, so and then leave just 80 gold, and the rest goes into.
Platinum, yeah.
So that would be.
Wait, 56 silver pieces.
Oh,
Because
56.
there was left.
Yeah, sorry.
Okay.
All right, so 56, you want to leave 80, that'll be 17, so 19 and 80. There you go. That said, gold is a much
9?
easier thing to figure out. Yeah.
I thought you. Wait, hold on.
Oh, sorry, 19, sorry.
Yeah, okay. That threw me off. I feel like a lot of money just disappeared on me.
Yeah, I clicked it and then it just
Oh, and
didn't.
it was. Oh, and the 70 silver pieces became. Oh, that rounded it up to 250. That's amazing. That was convenient.
Yes.
I didn't think of
Much faster when I actually have the time to do it.
that.
What the? Okay, and I'm pretty sure you don't have 253 violas.
No, where did that
That
come
would be
from?
impressive.
There should be one.
Okay, that's better.
Where did 253? Oh, maybe because we were changing the money prices and then.
Yeah, I think something got clicked in up there for some reason and started.
Well, I would have also been crushed underneath all that weight, so it's probably a good thing I don't have actually that many.